All right, let's get into it. Today, we're tearing down an app that was built with this one really powerful purpose. We're going to go deep inside VoiceTasks and see how everything they did, everything from the code to the marketing, was all driven by a single question. And that question is, how do you build an app that works with your brain, not against it? It sounds so simple, right? But the answer, it's really not. Think about it. Most apps are just screaming for our attention. They create so much noise, so much stress. But what if you flipped that whole idea on its head? What if you designed for calm instead of chaos? So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are going behind the curtain, looking at the real design docs, the marketing plans, the tech frameworks for this app called VoiceTasks. It's designed from the ground up for neurodivergent minds, and it's a fantastic case study of how one single mission can literally shape every single decision a team makes. Okay, so everything has to start somewhere. And for a project like this, it all starts with the mission. Before anyone writes a single line of code or designs a single pixel, you've got to have a why. And for VoiceTasks, that why is so clear and so powerful: empower, don't overwhelm. And I want to be really clear here. This isn't just some fluffy marketing slogan they cooked up. This is the North Star for the entire project. You'll see how this one mission, to empower, not overwhelm, dictates absolutely everything we're about to look at, from the logo all the way down to the code. So you have this amazing mission, but how do you make it visible? How do you make people feel it? Well, you start with the very first thing anyone sees, the first thing they connect with: the logo. All right, check this out. Here's concept number one. It's this smooth, fluid sound wave that just seamlessly transforms into a check mark. It's such an elegant way to show exactly what the app does, right? It turns your voice into a completed task.
I think this is just brilliant. You don't need to read a single word to get what this app is all about. It just screams ease, flow, and getting things done all in one single mark.
Okay, so let's break this down. The big win here is that feeling of fluidity. That's perfect for an audience that often feels trapped by really rigid, complex systems. This logo promises a path of least resistance. Now, is it perfect? Not quite. The trade-off is it might get a little fuzzy at a really tiny size, on a phone screen, but it nails the goal of positioning the brand as elegant and sophisticated.
But what if the main goal isn't just about checking off boxes? What if it's more about well-being? That brings us to this really fascinating alternative concept. It was actually developed for a potential name change to something called OraTask.
And this design, wow, it just changes the whole conversation. Suddenly, it's not about doing more, it's about feeling better. That glowing aura gives you a sense of peace and focus. It positions the app as this supportive companion, not just another tool. So look at them side by side. It's incredible, right? One design choice creates two totally different brand personalities. You've got the sleek, efficient tool on one side and the calm, supportive partner on the other. That right there is the power of mission-driven design. Okay, so a great logo is a promise. Now let's see how they keep that promise through their communication. The marketing and the content, that's where the rubber meets the road. For VoiceTasks, this means they had to provide genuine value, not just try and sell a product. It's all about building that relationship first. Just look at these content themes. Notice something? They aren't talking about app features. They're talking about the user's life. The whole point of their content is to educate, to validate, and to support. They're building a trusted resource, not just another sales funnel. And that is how you build an audience that believes in your mission just as much as you do. And here's the proof in the pudding. This isn't just some high-level theory. This is their actual content plan for month one. You've got articles like The Dyslexia Advantage and From Chaos to Calm. They're speaking directly to the real-world experiences of their audience. That's how you build empathy and trust right from day one.
Okay, so you've got the mission, you've got the logo, you've got the content. It all sounds great. But here's the big question. Does the app itself actually deliver? This is where the technology has to live up to that big promise of being empowering, not overwhelming.
So to avoid that super frustrating setup process we all hate, the developers made a really smart choice. They used something called Apple's Event Kit. Now, what does that mean? Well, instead of making you log into Google and Outlook and all your other accounts inside their app, it just uses the accounts you already have set up on your phone. So simple, so smart. And what this does is just completely remove friction. You don't have to remember any new passwords. You don't have to deal with complicated login screens. It just works.
And this is a perfect example of a technical decision that's driven 100% by that mission to reduce overwhelm for the user. And that same philosophy, it carries through the entire app, the entire user interface. Everything is guided by this set of principles called calm design. And the goal is exactly what it sounds like, to make every single interaction feel effortless and completely non-stressful. And what's so cool here is understanding the why behind these rules. For a neurodivergent user, a big, dense block of text can feel like hitting a wall. It just instantly raises your cognitive load. Or think about this. Left aligned, sans serif fonts are often way easier for someone with dyslexia to read. So these aren't just like nice design suggestions. They're hard rules that come directly from empathy. And get this is the level of detail we're talking about. The designers literally specified that the animations should last between 150 and 350 milliseconds. That's it. Because any faster and it feels jarring, any slower and the app feels sluggish. They're that precise because they know that for some other users, that tiny, tiny detail can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, let's tie this all together now because this is where you really see the magic happen. The marketing, the design, the code. They're not in their own little silos. They are all working together, all serving the exact same vision. Remember the marketing plan? The promise they made to the user was simple: a calmer, more organized life without all the digital chaos we're so used to. And then the technology delivers on that exact promise with real, concrete features. Those calm animations we talked about, the super simple login, the clean fonts, it all works together to create this one cohesive, deeply empathetic experience. And that kind of leaves us with one final big thought. VoiceTasks is an amazing example of what happens when you design with real empathy for a specific audience. But what if this wasn't the exception to the rule? What if every app, every website, every single piece of software we use started by asking, how can we genuinely improve the well-being of our users? It's a pretty powerful idea to think about, isn't it?